Did I see the new Gorillaz music video? Yes, I did. It was very immaculate. Really nice, nicely made. I watched the behind the scenes thing too. Yeah, it's cool. I like the shout out to Jungle Book. I don't really know the Gorillaz like story, character lore, and all that kind of stuff. I never followed Gorillaz. I was aware of Jamie Hewlett's work growing up. I used to read Tank Girl back in the day, but I don't know that much about Gorillaz, to be honest. But that was a cool video, and I like that director also. He's a French animation director. I forget his name. Who did the psychedelic sequence, I think, in the middle. Ah, okay. But yeah, it was cool. Really nice animation. It's cool to see. Cool, really cool background paintings. And I was commenting actually on the line work being so, so well done. So really nice, like variety of line in a way that doesn't look variety of line weight that doesn't look forced, if that makes sense. It just looks like pure comic book, inking, which is really hard to accomplish in today's animation. I actually don't know how they managed to accomplish that level of control over the stroke. That's why I kind of like when I'm doing digital animation, I saw that they didn't use cells. They did a cell test, I think, is what they did to emulate so that they could have like an in-house point of reference. So they made one cell to replicate digitally. But they did do analog background painting, and then they plussed it up in digital, which is kind of what I do actually. In some ways, I usually start with a analog underpainting, and then I start to paint over it. But they were making really nice background paintings and then digitally enhancing them. What's up, Ninetales? Hope you're still in school. Optic nerve appointment. What were they trying to figure out? I was just at the eye doctor a couple days ago, actually, getting checked for glaucoma, and I'm all clear, no glaucoma. They were worried about some pressure in my eyeball, I guess, but turns out I'm all good. Painting your jacket right now. I thought about adding a little J2 flavor since the stream is good to work to. Which character do you think is most stylish? Appreciates the sick threads. I would say probably DD Magnus. He's like the tech wizard of the universe. He probably has the most access to fashion. With swollen optic nerves and have been trying to rule out intracranial hypotension. I think the tretinoin I used for skincare may have caused some pressure. I didn't know it could do that, so I stopped using it. Oh, wow. Huh. Well, I hope you're okay. Hopefully it's not MS. I have a friend who has MS. I haven't kept up with in a while. you know, my brother just had a health scare. He his toes swelled up so bad that he couldn't walk, and after he had this like foot accident, he like injured his foot, and so he went to the doctor, and the doctor told him he had gout. But then he wasn't having like the symptoms of gout, you know, and then he went back, and then she told him he had a bone infection. They were gonna have to shave off his bones. And then he looked at, he like did his own research, and he was like, I don't think that's what I have. And then she told him to go to an emergency room. And it just turned out he had an infection from athlete's foot that got into his blood and like blew up his toes. So that doctor is a real fucking piece of work. Yeah, some doctors just don't give a shit. They'll just fucking say whatever. I don't know. Live in a crazy world. Alright. We got some basic flats. So let's start to figure out Stats Canada offered through testing to improve Canada's healthcare or whatever to our households. So we'll probably do that. I don't know what that means. All right. I guess I'm gonna create some. I've got these rough guidelines, but they're really just like random willy-nilly, you know. So I'm gonna make some more clear guidelines for the shape of this landscape here. I'll get rid of this here, and then call this guide. They said they do like lots of different blood tests or whatever to see if we're at risk for anything. Oh, okay, yeah. That's good. Tylenol is the universal salve. Tylenol really doesn't do anything for me. Never. It doesn't even get rid of my headaches. Hey, Pretty Patrick, what's up, man? Thanks, dude. I just gave a speech or a lecture today to the people over, if you know Meow Wolf, those people, about Jesus 2. Oh, nice. Thanks, dude. Thanks for spreading the word. Pretty Patrick in the house. The talk went really well. Yeah, we actually screened Jesus 2 and to the workers, and I talked to them about how I tried to pitch Jesus 2 to Netflix years ago. And sort of, you know, the changing landscape of independent animation and all that kind of stuff. Thanks. Yeah, I'm just listening to like some new age playlist kind of thing. It's the only thing I can listen to that won't get me dinged on YouTube for copyright infringement. I don't know. Was anyone else in chat working on something right now? Trying to do a creative project or even doing their taxes? I gotta try to do my taxes this weekend if I can. I hate doing them. Absolutely hate it. But I usually get some money back, which is nice, but it's just not for me, man. Doing paperwork. Do as little paperwork as I can. Don't make me do it. Don't make me do paperwork, man. Taxes I'm always afraid I feel like I always make some sort of mistake in my taxes. And I have nightmares about getting audited. But I'm just like, hey, come on, like, I'm not a numbers guy. You know? I'm barely surviving. Just trying to, like, you know, I was a D student in math. Let's see here. So that's my like line guide for like shadows and stuff. So hey Alex Neil, what's up? Yeah, I kind of check out if people start talking about anything to do with like office, like anything to do with office, like IT stuff, filling out like job forms and all that kind of stuff. I completely check out, and I get actually actively agitated by anything having to do with like HR departments and like IT departments. And like working for any company now, you have to fill out like 2 hours worth of contract legalese stuff, and you have to set up an email in there on their servers and get like passwords, and oh man, just drives me crazy. I'll do anything I can to like play stupid so I don't have to do any of that stuff. Just pretend I'm so technologically inept that I don't have to do it. All right, so that's the guide. So then we're gonna go. a shadow. So let's start to find the volumes here. We're gonna go here, and we'll just use this color as a placeholder temporarily until we decide what actual color we're gonna do. And we're gonna use the dissolve brush. And this brush. And here. Oops. Oops. I'll put up a little fight for a little while. I usually get into these little stalemates with producers and HR departments, and they'll be like, "Oh, I can't figure it out. I can't figure out how to, you know, access that training video that you need me to watch. Oh, I just don't know how to use the internet." And I'll do that for a while until they eventually, I think they've steeled themselves against people like me, so they usually end up winning the battle. I do my best to thwart them with all their extra job justification activities. And legal department shit. It's crazy. Used to just, back in my day, you just signed an I-9 form, and that's it, you're hired. Now you gotta sign all these NDAs and all this kind of stuff just to do like a two-day freelance gig. It's crazy. Hey, Bubblegum. What's up? You've been working as a sales rep for AT&T. Impulse sales, baby. I hate it and I make no money. Should I quit? Said it was a Jack Vance fan? Who's Jack Vance? I don't even know who that is. Is he that comedian? Jack Vance. Oh, Jack Vance. Oh yeah, I read one of his Dying Earth books. Eyes of the Overworld. Yeah, I read Eyes of the Overworld. Yeah, his stuff is good. I mean, I've only read that one book. It's fun. Fun stuff. Should you quit your job? This invitation to I got an RSVP. Hold on 1 second. Right. Sorry. I got to RSVP this Titmouse thing tomorrow. Get tickets. 1. Check out. Jesse Moynihan. Hey, let me see the bottom. There we go. Register. Download tickets. What do I do with this? I'll screenshot it. Sorry. So, it's a big Titmouse art show thing happening tomorrow. Okay. So let me loop this. Oops. Oh, should you quit your job? Sorry, I got distracted. I tried reading one of his books. I thought his writing was hard to follow, but maybe I'll tell you what's hard to follow. I've been reading this science fiction book for like a year and a half now, called by William Hope Hodgson, called The Nightland. I'm like 100, maybe 80 pages into it now, and it's one of the most long-winded circuitous circuitous, is that the word? It's just like writes itself in circles sci-fi book I've ever read. Just like the most blustery, old school writing. But it's really, really good. Really good. Some of the coolest imagery I've ever read in a book. Oh yeah, I keep getting distracted. Should you quit your job at AT&T? Let's ask the tarot. All right, I'm gonna let the tarot roll and you think about it. Think about your question. Tell me when to stop. Brother Rabbit. It gave you the back of the card. Well, okay. So that's the Vesica Pisces. Got the four corners of the world. Got the birth canal. What is it trying to say? The four corners are empty currently. It's an open slate. The characters are missing from the image. It's an open world. How old are you, Brother Rabbit? May I ask? "26. Are you living on your own or are you living with your folks?" Living alone? Do you have time to kind of pursue your hobbies or interests outside of work? Does your work afford you that sort of like luxury? Or are you grinding like, 60-hour weeks? I doubt that AT&T store would have you working 60-hour weeks. Full-time grind, like 40-hour week? Hey, Ox Machina. I've never gotten the back of a card before. Um, I'll tell you what. I mean, yeah, the economy currently is really bad. Really bad. Maybe the worst it's been um, since the Great Depression in terms of like wealth disparity and corporations trying to slash jobs, all that kind of stuff. um, but yeah, lack of opportunities. LinkedIn, unresponsive. LinkedIn is very unresponsive. I think there is something to say about the sort of like lack of information in this reading. The fact that it landed for the first time ever in a reading on my digital tarot deck. It landing on the reverse side of the card. Maybe we're at a juncture in time where we're in a complete like unknown zone as to like where the world is headed. We could be in a sliding doors, Gwyneth Paltrow sliding doors moment. It could go one way or another. Nothing's decided yet. We're in at a junction like Dark Crystal, you know? Yeah, I think you know, there's like there's opportunity in nothingness. Or a blank page. I think me personally, like outside of the tarot, I'm always I live according to the mantra of risk. As far as my career goes, I'm constantly in a state of taking risks and betting on myself. This year has been the most difficult year of taking risks. This year and the past year, even though I've had like a lot of really good things happen for me. You know, like my short film getting into Sundance and stuff like that. And signing contracts with different, you know, production companies and things like that. But money-wise, the past year and a half has been like insanely risky. Like I'm gambling. On something happening. Like, for example, this month I didn't have enough money to pay rent, and then last week Titmouse reached out to me to art direct a commercial for them. So all of a sudden I had enough money to pay rent. It's like that. I'm like operating at that level right now. So yeah, luckily people still think of me, you know. It's nice that people reach out to me to give me gigs and stuff, but it's been real. I've been cutting it real close, you know. You haven't found work in about 2 years, Patrick. Wow. Yeah, I've only been working like little, like, you know, 4-day jobs here and there for the past 7 months. And then before that, so I did like 5 storyboards for Adventure Time side quests, and then before that I was unemployed for about another like 6 or 7 months, something like that. That's crazy. What are you, Patrick? What are you doing for? What are you doing to like get by right now? Anyway, I hope that kind of answers your question. I mean, that was a pretty actually like wishy-washy answer to your question. But I got a wishy-washy fucking card pull from the tarot deck, so I don't know what to say. Graphic design, little things, but not so much, yeah. Patrick, were you doing editing like for a while, like editing animatics and stuff? That's cool. Oh, which Adventure Time side quest or Fiona and Cake or? Hey, thanks for the subscription. Appreciate you. Oh yeah, the BMO thing, yeah. The only editor I see around is that guy Marcus. Whenever I go to Warner Brothers, go over to Warner Brothers. Do I ever hear from? I hear from Mudo everyone. I mean, Mudo supports my Patreon, so I see him liking my posts every once in a while on Patreon. But I haven't sat down and talked with Mudo in a while. But you know, he's busy. He's working on. He's been grinding on that show for so long, and he. Oh, you know what? I saw him at a Adventure Time art show thing at Gallery Nucleus. Like, gosh, that must have been something like 7 or 8 months ago. That's probably the last time I saw Mudo. Oh, nice. Yeah, Marcus is a sweet, super sweet guy. Let's see here. Let's get rid of the ones here. Okay. Do I remember Heather at all? She worked at operations over at CNS. She started working on production. Heather. I'm not sure if I remember Heather. You're hanging out with her too? I'm sure if I saw Heather I would recognize her face, but I'm so bad with names. Oops. Oh, nice. She's worked up, now she's an associate producer. That's amazing. What's, do you know what she's producing on? I gotta figure out. I've been trying to talk to producers recently because I'm trying to figure out how I'm supposed to. I've never done like casting calls on my own before, and I don't know how to do it through SAG. I have to figure out like how to coordinate production with SAG. I've been calling my people I think who would have answers to my questions, but they don't. They're picking up the phone. A feature at Disney. I want to work on a feature at Disney. I want to direct a Disney feature so I can buy a house. That's what I want. That's what I want to do. Give me the next fucking. Give me the next fucking. What do you call it? Give me the next fucking hoppers. God damn it. I'll make a real mess of it. Let me buy a house, bro. Plot of the future? Okay. Let me think. I don't even have to write it. I just want to direct it. But, okay. It's plot of the feature. Plot of the feature. Where would I buy a house? I would probably buy a house in a place that would actually like my dollar would go further than California. In California, I do love living in LA though. I gotta be honest. Okay. Once upon a time, there was a let's just say, hold on, got this. Okay. There's a middle school boy, and his parents get a new job and they have to relocate. So he was living in like Scranton, Pennsylvania. And he has to move to San Francisco, of course. Yeah, I dual stream. He has to move to San Francisco, away from all of his friends. And he's really sad. And then and he's getting bullied in school, in his new San Francisco school. Tech, with all the kids are like the kids of tech people. And in his old school, that everyone was like blue collar, you know. So he's not used to all these rich kids. And then they're all working. So this takes place. Well, I don't know, Scranton, somewhere where there's like a coal mine. Okay. So then, yeah, he comes from a place where it was like one of the last like coal mining towns in America, and he has to relocate. And then, so he's being bullied in his new school in San Francisco, and he hates his life. And then all the kids in his old school, there's a big coal mine collapse. And everyone in the school, his old school, dies. They get like consumed into this like pit. Coal mine collapse. And then so he's the only kid from his old school who survived the catastrophe. And then the ghosts of all of his best friends from his school, his old school, come to hang out with him in his new school, and then they help him make his life better at his new school by playing ghost pranks on his bullies. And that's the story of him. And then he has to learn to let go of his dead friends. That's the message. Because they have to move on, you know, and they haven't moved on from the earthly realm, you know. So he has to help his friends move on to the next life or whatever. But he also needs them because they're making his life bearable in his new school. And it's called, the name of the film is called Surviving Sam the Survivor or something. It'll be a real tearjerker, you know, pull on the heartstrings. Hey, you know, hit me up, Pixar. I don't think I've seen past Toy Story 2. But yeah, give me that Toy Story. Let me direct Toy Story. I swear I'll do a good job. I've heard that Toy Story movies are real tearjerkers, but I haven't. Yeah, I don't think I've seen past Toy Story 2. I've become like pretty adverse to anything that's a sequel. I like instinctually like don't want to watch it. Yeah, I heard they're making another one. We gotta keep going to the well. I think Hopper seems to have some heat behind it, though. Seems like people are really responding to it, to the trailers. So that's cool. It's like a new, new. Because all their new IP, all their new stories, like haven't been doing very well lately. I think. Do I have a favorite animated film? I've got a bunch of favorite animated films. I don't know if I have like a number one. I love Fantastic Planet. I love Nausicaa. I love Mind Game. I love Ralph Bakshi's Wizards. I love Secret of Nim. I love Boy and the Heron. I really liked oh, I love Akira. I love Fist of the North Star. What else? Angel's Egg. What else? Pinocchio. Princess Mononoke. Yeah, Secret of Nim is like one of the more beautiful animated films. It's Don Bluth's masterpiece. Oh, Son of the White Mare. I really like that movie. You still haven't seen Spirited Away. Wow. That's the movie that really like made me pay attention to Miyazaki. I remember being in Kim's Video in New York, and they were playing Spirited Away on the monitor. And I just was like I was like, what is this fucking movie? What the fuck? You know? It was the scene where he was trying to stop the boar that was like infected. And Princess Mononoke is like getting like consumed by the worms and stuff. I just remember seeing that. I was like, holy shit. Like, just like totally, you know, it's one of those things. Oh, yeah. I feel like there usually someone is playing it somewhere. And like one of those like AMC like does like these retrospective screenings. Sometimes you see trailers when you go see a movie at the AMC theaters. Oh, that's cool. Watership Down. Yeah, Watership Down is cool. I saw that. I watched that a bunch of times when I was in middle school. Have I seen The Good Dinosaur? No, I haven't seen it. Do I watch One Piece? I watched probably like 250 episodes of One Piece, and then I sort of gave up. I know there's really great story arcs in One Piece that you know I'm missing out on, but and I really like the thesis of the story. You know, the thesis of like sort of, you know, what is your dream kind of thing. I really find that. I think a lot of people find that pretty inspiring, and I've totally vibed with One Piece like during my time watching it, but it's too much. It's too long, and that's just, you know, I can't invest that much time into one person's fucking story, dude. I remember all the old Disney VHS had a preview for Spirited Away before. Oh yeah, yeah, that was when Disney was like really getting behind Ghibli stuff. Yeah, I had seen, you know, like I even had when I was growing up, I had Castle of Cagliostro on VHS. I used to watch all the time, but I didn't consider Miyazaki like an auteur at that time. I was just like, oh, this is like a wacky, fun, you know, Japanese animated film. Oops. Yeah, it wasn't until I saw Spirited Away that I really clocked Miyazaki as this like unique presence. What's up, Bubblegum? Let's see here. Just gotta find the shapes, find the shapes. Yeah, my brother probably has watched something like close to 1,500 episodes or something. And he's like, oh man, you missed out on this and this thing happening, and you know. And I cannot spend that much time in that world, no matter how cool some of it is. I did hear that they are coming out. They're gonna do like an abridged series or something like that. From the top. So they skip all the filler stuff. The filler stuff just kills me, man. The filler stuff is rough. Yeah, I wanted to go see the Angel's Egg remaster, but I totally just flaked out and didn't go. I think I even bought tickets and then I just like didn't go. Yeah, I actually have done this twice now. I've bought tickets to movies and not gone because I just like bought them by myself, and it, you know, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go see a movie by myself. No one else wants to go. I did that with the re-release of John Woo's Hard Boiled. I bought tickets and I just was gonna go by myself because no one else cared or wanted to go. And then I was like, just drawing, and I was like, I'm just gonna keep drawing. I'm not gonna go see Hard Boiled. I did go to the theater to see Smashing Machine by myself, that movie with The Rock. Recently, I went and saw it. It was playing at the Los Feliz 3 theater, I think. And I couldn't get anyone to come with me, but I really wanted to see it. So I just went by myself, and I was the only person in the theater. So I just like watched it completely alone. I was at the Lemley Theater, that's where it was. In Glendale. It was like a cool experience, but also like pretty sad at the same time. Yeah, I mean, no one's cared about that movie, but I like MMA, so I wanted to watch a movie that was based around a real MMA story. Take it easy. Bye, Brother Rabbit. Take it easy. Oh yeah, try some lucid dreaming. Adbull 44. Oh, thanks, Evan. I try to stream like 3 times a week. I'm always streaming on Mondays at 7 o'clock Pacific time. But everything else, it's kind of like random. If I feel like streaming, I just kind of jump on. So you should, I guess you should follow me and get notifications so you know when I'm streaming. But it all gets archived too. But I don't know if anyone likes to watch archives of streams. But I've been trying to stream like, yeah, 3 times a week. Just while I'm working on any sort of like long form art piece. And I'm working on this bumper for Animation Plus right now, so this is gonna take me a while to do all the backgrounds and animate it. Probably take me about 3 weeks, I would guess. Maybe a little longer. Okay. So this side is going to be all lit up, and then this side is going to make shadow, so... Yo, Jerry, what's up? What's that? Oops. Sand dunes at Glamis. Where's Glamis? Oh, thanks, not Beekeep. I really, I worked hard on that tablet. Appreciate it. Oh yeah, I gotta remember to save my work. Save. At least have a Big Bear. Oh, okay. I've been to Big Bear maybe once. I was there once. I went to Big Bear during COVID when I was like trying to get out of my house and go camping during that time. And I found out how I didn't realize how like right kind of like, not to get political, but Big Bear's like populations are very right-wingy. I found out. I didn't realize. Makes sense, like this good Escape to the Woods kind of thing. California Escape to the Woods. It wasn't as like Kumbaya vibes as I thought Big Bear was going to be. I don't know if I'd clocked the prison. But it was different. I always think of like, you know, as an LA person, escaping LA, you're either gonna go to Palm, what do you call it? Not Palm Desert, Palm Springs, or you're gonna go to Idlewild, or you're gonna go to Big Bear. That was like the idea I had in my head. But it was a little bit like kind of dreary a Big Bear, I found. I don't know, maybe I was just being too sensitive. But I found the same thing, similar like dreariness in what do you call it? Big Sur. Kind of, it's like not dreary, but you know, it feels haunted there. It feels like there's like this heavy, like a heavy soul. You know, like it's experienced a lot of pain or something. That was my impression of Big Sur. I was like, I feel a lot of like heavy memories here. um, the woods were like, you know, the big redwood trees and stuff were cool, but it was like there's like a darkness, a sadness, or gloom. Maybe I'm crazy, I don't know. Starting to shave up. Yeah, this is streaming on Twitch also. I've been told to stream on both Twitch and YouTube. But yeah, I imagine there's like probably big horseflies, maybe, where you are. That can be, or like tons of mosquitoes during certain seasons. I went hiking. I did like 100 miles of wilderness in Maine when I was much younger, and the last 4 days of that hike, we hit into like mosquito season, and I just got completely obliterated. Mosquitoes, yeah. I mean, I got so annihilated by those mosquitoes that I just gave up even trying to fight it. I just let them feed on my face. Yeah, mostly California feels like a downer, but I feel that way about LA. The people there are really like anxious, I guess. Hey, thanks for the follow. I guess I would rather be nervous too if I couldn't wear red or blue. Yeah, I've never come across the not wearing red or blue thing since I've lived in LA. I wouldn't say, yeah, I guess there's like a anxiousness. I don't know. I mean, compared to living in Philadelphia, the anxiousness is extremely low in LA. There is like an anxiousness as far as like people's desperation to be successful, you could say, probably. I can definitely feel that sort of anxiousness. But the anxiousness, danger anxiousness, just doesn't rate to any East Coast city. Like Philadelphia or Baltimore or DC or um, New York. Hey, Wizard of Slime. Welcome. Yeah, ambitious people make me nervous too. When people are too, when you can sense the thirst, the thirstiness. It's not a good look. I remember I was at a coffee shop years ago, and I was just drawing at a coffee shop, and this girl came up to me, and she was like, "Hey, what do you do?" She's like, "I just came to LA, and I'm trying to meet people." Blah blah blah. It was like super the most like needy, desperate LA, career minded sort of like uh, glad handing kind of thing. And I was immediately like, ugh, like get away from me, you know. And then months later, I went to like someone's birthday party, and then she was there. I was like, oh, there she is again, that weird, desperate comedian. And then, that was probably like 12 years ago. And then the other day, I saw her on a YouTube video. Just came up in my algorithm. So she's still at it. That's cool. Everyone's got different dispositions, I guess. But that sort of vibe, like I get really like freaked out by it. Like it's too, it's like goes against all my sensibilities as a cynical East Coast type person. Let's see here. All right, so now what we can do is I'm going to mask out all this line so I can feel accomplished. Boop, 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 boop. All right. So that's the basic shadow of that foreground area. Um, Do I remember the people that would hang out outside of Cartoon Network building and give portfolios on disc? That was rough. I never came across that. I know no one never gave me their portfolio on a disc. Could someone give context around the current scene here? Or is it Hush? No, it's not Hush Hush. So I'll put the storyboard back up. Um, um, I'm making a little bumper, like there's this animation streaming channel uh, that's in development right now called Animation Plus, and I'm making a little. If you know those little bumpers like for Adult Swim and MTV and stuff like that, the little like 15-second, you know, animated scenes that show the logo and stuff. So I'm just doing something like that. So I storyboarded a little 20-second scene, and now I'm doing the painting the backgrounds for it. And basically, the story is this character, who's my character from Jesus 2, Monday, is looking into a black obsidian ball and is communing with some otherworldly being, and basically it's like the god of cartoons, and yeah, so he gets a little bit more than he was bargaining for, kind of a deal with the devil kind of thing. That's the story. Actually, I could show you the I'll show you the little animatic I made. One second. Like, let me see here. It might be really loud, but I'll show it to you. It's not one of those archangels. This is like a non-canonical. So I just made up a whole new like demon that it's just supposed to be like I'm doing a psyop on the audience to get them to watch more cartoons. And it's like you'll never escape watching cartoons kind of thing. I'm trying to cast a hypnotic spell on the audience to watch Animation Plus. Let's see here. Bumper. Exports. Is it this? Oh wait, this is without the. This is without the. Um, this is without the subtitles. I mixed my voice so weird that it's like hard to understand. So hold on, let me get the one with the subtitles. I'll have to email it to myself. Second. Bumper. Is this it? Oh, there you go. Okay. Download it quick. Okay, yeah, here we go. See if this will play correctly.
Oh, fuck! Hey, show me! I want to see what you can see!
That's it. Yeah. Yeah, that's all like scratch voices that I did. But so I gotta find some people to do some voices for me, but so in this, like, he's he's doing looking into a scrying ball, and he comes across this demon, and then he's saying, well, show me what you see. It turns out he's the demon of cartoons. Yeah, so Animation Plus. I still haven't cast the voice of Monday. I'm trying to put out a casting call for this character, so I have to figure that out. I think in the short, Monday has one line, and it was just like, I got it, to say I got the grail. And the person who voiced it, she was really cool, but she didn't have. I didn't realize she didn't have the range. She was good at the really sensitive line reads, but she didn't have the range to really like scream and stuff. And I need someone who can really scream. And I needed someone that can sing. I need someone who can sing, scream, and have like a really sensitive, sort of like young boy's voice. So I'm gonna have to do like I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to do like a nationwide casting call. Let's see. All right. So then. I think I might do something like that, like really fuck with make people feel sick. You know? Okay. This is actually making it very hard for me to look at. So I might change my mind about this. Oh, okay, cool. Let's find. I'm just gonna do a color shift and see what I find here. So I'm gonna do vivid light and color, copy that color. Go back to normal. Then we're gonna color shift. To crazy blue. And then I'm gonna go to a gradient layer. I'll make the gradient layer vivid. Vivid light. Hey, Ocheng. Did I play Space Marines 2 yet? No, I haven't. I've been playing Memories in Orbit, which is like a Metroidvania kind of game, and then I've been playing Love Eternal, which is a game that was made by Sam Alden and his sibling. Haven't played Corn 2 yet. I was thinking about making a Corn soundbite for the stream, just in your honor. Do you recommend Space Marines 2? You should play Dungeon Degenerates, acid 80s rock fantasy board game. I bought a board game made by Skinner called Realm Runners, and I still haven't played it. I need to find people to play with. Every time I ask people, they're like, "Yeah, let's play it," and then we never get together to play it. I'm really bad at like getting people to come to my house. I'm always like hesitant to let anyone in my house. It's kind of it's like not a good, I guess. Okay. All right, this is starting to shape up here. So I'm just gonna leave the front. I'm gonna leave the front as is for now. I'll worry about highlights and all that kind of stuff later. Just gonna land flats. So foreground land. And then back flats. Okay. You got your T levels up? Oh, nice. Maybe I need to get my T levels up. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to do a basically dark dark shadow, like normal shadow. Gonna just go down the dark scale here, and then I'll figure out actually what color it'll be later. Okay. Typical move. Okay. Yeah, Realm Runners looks really cool. I just haven't played it yet. I really just need to organize something. I'm just like, all day long, all I care about is drawing, and I'm such a creature of habit. It's like I just draw, and you know, then some nights I go to the gym, and if someone invites me to something, I'll go, but I never like initiate any sort of, I really don't initiate that many hangouts with people. Especially anything like, hey, board game night kind of thing. It's like, it's become really difficult for me to kind of initiate that kind of thing. I'm such a studio goblin at this point. It's fucking maybe borderline mental illness. But I think it's hard to kind of do anything else right now because there's so much. There's so much like self-motivated. Like you have to create your own projects currently. Like you can't. It's really hard to find a gig to actually like sort of passively work for other people and then be more social and things like that. But mental illness, why does it feel so good? I actually did go play board game. I mean, my friend Mia gets together with people at a local bar and plays board games, so I did do that the other night. But it wasn't something I, it wasn't something I orchestrated. You know what I mean? I'm more passive. I'm really passive when it comes to hanging out, pretty much. Except for me, I've got like me, my brother, my friend Alex. We kind of will coordinate pretty easily, but outside of that, it's like pretty hard for me to coordinate with people. My friend Joe Wong is good at. I haven't heard from him in a while, but he's good at sort of rallying. Hey, let's hang out, kind of thing, you know. I need to hit up Joe. Make sure he knows I value him as a hangout buddy. Let's see here. Yeah, my buddy Joe Rogan. He's really busy, you know. He doesn't leave his little pod. It can be hard to maintain friendships. Your mama. What are my thoughts on the whole Paramount Warner Brothers Netflix fiasco? I think it's sort of like damned if you do, damned if you don't. I think that currently, I think the best news for Cartoon Network / Warner Brothers that happened recently was their back catalog being acquired by Tubi, because Tubi, one, is free, which is awesome, and two, they're just like looking to stock content, and they're not trying to, like, their approach is sort of like, hey, we've got a bunch of shit you can scroll through our catalog and find, and it's all there. We're not going to take, as far as I know, Tubi is just trying to have like a lot of shit on their platform that you can't find anywhere else. So it's great to have all those like sort of old Cartoon Network shows there, because they're not going to, theoretically, there's less chance of it disappearing the way it would on Netflix or on Paramount or on HBO, you know. The problem with Netflix is they'll push, you know, if they have a new content or whatever, they'll push it for the first couple months, and then it just disappears and you have no idea, like, you just don't know it exists, really. It's like really hard to navigate their back catalog. It's and I, you know, and with Paramount Plus, like, Paramount Plus doesn't really like move the needle. Like, I don't think like lots of people. I actually have Paramount Plus because I like watching MMA. Sorry. But if it wasn't for MMA, I would never have a subscription to Paramount Plus. Like, there would be no reason, you know. So I don't think people go to Paramount Plus to watch cartoons, and I think people actually do go to Netflix to watch cartoons. So it's better, I would say, like, if I were to choose between the two, I think it would be a better network move to be acquired by Netflix. I don't think kids are not tuning into Paramount to watch animation, as far as I can tell. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I just don't think. I think they're only tuning into Netflix and Hulu, you know, and Disney, Hulu, Disney, and everyone else can kind of like, you know, forget about it. And then the teenagers are watching Tubi because it's free. I think that's my impression. And like early 20s people, you know, are watching Tubi because it's free. So Tubi is like the Snapchat of streaming platform, of streaming entertainment. But you know, but what am I not happy about is this like consolidation of like, you know, it's like consolidation of corporations and into like one mega, you know, it'll become like something like at some point like so monolithic that it'll be like a entertainment monarchy, you know. It's sort of like the way it was back in the day, when there was only like ABC, NBC, ABC. Except it'll just be at the end, like it'll be like the winner between Amazon, Disney, and Netflix, maybe. Someone's gonna come out on top. Maybe Amazon in the end. Like Amazon doesn't know how to make a good show, so that's their problem. But they've got unlimited. They have unlimited money, so that's their advantage, you know. So at some point they'll just acquire anybody with the talent to write something decent. I think they'll just like win by spending more money than anyone else can. The only company that can really compete with them in that regard is probably Disney. So it's bad for it's bad for, as they say, like if you're thinking in terms of like capitalism, it's bad for competition. It goes against the theory of like healthy capitalist competition. You know, if they're breaking all these like, what was it? The antitrust laws. Is that what that is? Just doesn't work out for the consumer. So those short-term solutions. No bueno. Tubi's where you watch Doctor Who? That's cool. Alright, we got another layer of shadow blocked out here. So let's mask out these lines. Any news or updates on Jesus 2? Hey Jesse, when I finish my comic, can I send it to you just to get your thoughts? Yeah, for sure. Are you on Discord? Because you could DM me there and I'll send you my address to send it to me. Any news or updates on Jesus 2? I enjoyed the pilot. Yeah, this is the thing I'm making right now is a little Jesus 2 bumper for Animation Plus. I'm going to be making 2 new short Jesus 2 shorts and a teaser trailer for the series for Animation Plus. Animation Plus I signed a deal with to make more Jesus 2 stuff, so that's what it hasn't officially kicked off, but I'm making this promo bumper for them currently. Can I draw Blaziken? I don't know who Blaziken is. Blaziken. Oh, is that a Pokemon character? Blaziken looks cool. Blaziken is like a chicken, part chicken, part red eagle or something. I like the here is the wings that go behind Blaziken's head. Blaziken's got like a big pubes. What's that? What's up with that? What's up with Blaziken's pubes, dude? Yeah, I don't know if it's like a, I don't know if it's a green light. I'm not sure. I have to talk to, like, there's a contract I signed, or I signed a deal that has a budget for a series in the contract. What happened? But I actually don't know if I'm actually greenlit for the series. But I know I'm greenlit to make these 2 1-minute shorts and a teaser trailer for the series. That's going to be like 1.5 minutes. And then this bumper that I'm working on currently. So that's all I know at the moment. But I did sign a contract that gave me a budget for a series, and the budget is very generous. But you know, when you're working with a startup company, you really don't know, you kind of don't know what's real or not sometimes. It's a little bit, I'm not like sure exactly what's going on. Like, I haven't been paid yet, you know, and I've been working on it. That's my current situation. Do a gradient. from? Oh, I don't know, Wind Up Bird. Actually, I think this should go the opposite. It should be darker on top. Oops. Yeah. I think you're a monster. What made you consider doing a Paradise Lost adaptation? What were the themes that interested you the most about that book? I wanted to do Paradise Lost because, for one, a couple directors had tried to do it. One was Orson Welles, and his project got canceled, and another was the guy who directed Dark City, and his project got canceled. And so I thought it would be cool to try to make something some other big directors had failed at making come to life. And the other one was that the imagery in Paradise Lost is like extremely vivid, and it's just a really epic. Has a lot to do with like sort of the architecture of heaven. I thought that would be like really cool to try to figure out how to depict on screen. And it just has this like really epic violence mixed with a sort of world building that is a heavily like implied rather than explicitly like explained, you know. I like when like a few words will like spark your imagination. Rather than a whole like lurid description, you know. So I was getting pretty activated by that story and the idea of trying to do this thing that would be like very difficult to pull off And I thought I could pitch it in a way to... I thought there was like a path for me to like get it greenlit, because I could be like, hey, Orson Welles tried to make this and he couldn't do it, but I'm gonna do it. You know? I just thought that was like a way to sort of sell it to executives, but it actually didn't move the needle. But I tried. Yeah, I think he was going blind. I think his daughters were helping him finish the book. He was sort of just dictating to them, I think. Would the tone be like forming? No, actually, I was gonna try to make it really like formal. Sort of the same sort of language used in the book and stuff, but maybe but visually it would be like really, you know, my style. Yeah, but I gave up on that. I mean, ultimately, like, I think adapting other people's work sort of bums me out a little bit, to be honest. I'd rather just make my own shit, make my own ideas. I think I'm just coming to that conclusion. About Dante's Inferno? I read Dante's Inferno in high school. It's been a long time. I mean, I love the, you know, this idea of the, like, circles of hell and all that kind of stuff. I just like anything that maps out shit, you know, maps. I like maps. Yeah, it would be cool. It would be cool to do that, but yeah, exactly. It's like I can kind of yeah, be inspired by Milton. I can kind of be inspired by Dante. But then I can just sort of like interpret that into my own personal work, you know. I don't have to just do a straight cover. I mean, working in another person's universe, exclusively working within another person's universe, sort of. I do think it's sort of. Like, I think I think as an artist, I should be aspiring to make. I should be aspiring to make. I should be aspiring to be John Milton, you know, like I should be aspiring to be Tolkien or whatever. I shouldn't be aspiring to um, just being a Tolkien or a Milton or whatever cover artist. Like we have to make new stories. Even if I can't reach those heights, I should be trying to do that. That's like up to other people to decide, you know. But in my own weird lowbrow way, I'm trying to make my own original stories. Gone from no brow to low brow, for sure. Alright, so I gotta do this final background layer of these mountains here. But I am running out of steam. I might call it a night. I'm like really crashing. Save. Put these guys back up. Pop, pop, pop. I think I'll move these down from the edge of the screen a little bit. Around there. New tip from someone? Oh shit. Thank you for the tip. It should have been a notification. Did a notification pop up? With my face on it? I wasn't looking at the screen. It should have been a sound too that said. It didn't have the sound. It's supposed to have a sound that says J2's gonna nut. Jesus 2's gonna bust or whatever. I didn't make the sound work. Damn it. Well, anyway, thank you for the tip. I gotta fix my Ko-Fi sound effects. Okay. Appreciate it. I work hard for the money. Let's see here. So it's gonna look a little bit like this. Oh wait, my crystal ball. There you Actually, I'll go and starting to come together. I'm gonna put highlights on the foreground, I think. We'll see how all this comes together. That middle ground is like pretty bright, so we'll see when I do the background. We'll see. But I do want when this like pops on the screen to be like pretty noisy. So because it's kind of going to be like from here, from this shot. Let's see here. 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 It'll be like from here, this dungeon scene, to here. So this will be pretty mundane and like literal, and then all the walls are gonna crumble, and then it'll like reveal this super noisy landscape. So I do want it to be sort of like burning your retinas. So we'll get there. I'm probably going to put a gradient on this like underpainting, just to give it some depth, because right now it's really flat. And then we'll see. All right, guys. Well, that's all I got for now. Just keep making progress on this background, and then I gotta paint. I think I have to paint like 2 more backgrounds after this before I can start animating. So probably take me about a week, I guess, probably. So I'll probably be finished all the backgrounds for this bumper by Friday, by next Friday. That's my guess. All right. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. I'll talk to you guys. See you guys next time. All right. Later.